There it
There
is.
we go.
All right, this comes from Mary Ann, and Mary Ann's husband suffers from ulcerative colitis. He takes the steroid prednisone and also other prescriptions for inflammation. So Mary Ann would like to know if CBD can help her husband.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. And next question. You don't do it like that, huh, sisters? You're going to get the full. I'm giving you all the tea. She mentioned prednisone for the medication. So that's kind of the go-to, when people are in flare-ups. It's basically prednisone's job is to control inflammation by suppressing the immune system. It's 4 to 5 times more powerful than cortisol at decreasing inflammation. However, you cannot be on prednisone for long periods of time because what ends up happening is it causes the opposite effect, immunosuppression, which obviously we need our immune system to be functioning. And further from that, people that suffer with diseases, they have them their entire life. So you're talking muscle wasting, bone changes, fluid shifts.
Bone density, probably. You think of that. Oh my God.
And the rabbit hole goes deeper.
And then you're a hot mess.
We like being able to have self-awareness and discovery through our own conversations, things that we miss. So us trying to help educate you is actually helping us learn more about things we've already discussed all the time.
The triggers, you don't even think about it, and all of a sudden oh, there it is.
There it is. So this is not a solution to a chronic condition. There's no cure for these things. We only treat the symptoms, right? Exactly. There's really only one system that's been recognized to play an important role in the maintenance of your gut and how it, works, and how quickly it responds to disturbances or problems that might be brewing. Gina, what is that system called? Gina!
That is the ECS. Also known as the endocannabinoid system.
Oh, yes.
To which we are fully equipped with in our body right now.
Endo, within. Yeah. So this is why, to your question, does CBD work? This is why the answer was starting with a big fat yes, because the ECS is is of great interest in management of IBD and disorders of the GI tract, especially.
When they tried to, sorry,
you're fine.
They tried to give me the prescription, and I was like, no, I use cannabis. I'll use high CBD, high THC, whatever. They looked at me like I was out of my fucking mind.
You're a witch doctor?
Yeah, right. Yeah. So good luck with that. Let's see how that goes.
Send a little note to your insurance company, really.
Right. And I'm not suffering today like I was suffering then. So
you're not even close.
That's all I know.
You couldn't even swallow water.
I put majority of the weight back on, if not too much. You know what I mean? My body was like, all right, there it is. Let's go. Yeah. You're better. Let's eat. Let's eat and keep those nutrients.
It's true. And this is not like you should take CBD one day and everything was fixed. This was a long road, but
and figuring out dosage. Yeah. That's the biggest thing about cannabis. You got to get the dosage right to what works with your own body.
Right. No, exactly. And there's so many influencing factors as well. Supporting it. What does that even mean, right? So the endocannabinoid system, when it comes to IBS, affects the nervous system, the peripheral tissues, and your immune system. IBS is an immune system. The etiology of it is pretty much the frontliner is the immune system. So within these three, you've got cannabinoid receptors, 1 and 2. These are we also have endocannabinoids, and we also have associated enzymes. We don't talk about that a lot. We'll go into another time, but these are the 3 major components to the endocannabinoid system. It's generally understood that modulating the endocannabinoid system is pretty much the key to therapeutically decreasing inflammation within your gut. So the CBD1 receptors are found throughout your GI system, and these receptors play a physiologic role in protecting your colon during excessive inflammation. That's so cool. I know, right? If we could only live within microscopes within our bodies. Right. Simultaneously, though, in the central nervous system, CB1 receptors are actually associated with reducing your pain and nausea caused by said inflammation. CB2 receptors are found in the myonectric plexus, which is a major nerve supply to the to the GI tract. Wow. It controls how your GI tract, the motility of it, the immune cells within it, and the epithelial cells. So how cannabis hemp works is that it's thought to influence the immune cells through these various pathways. CBD in particular has been shown to regulate the tissue's response to excessive inflammation in the colon, and suppressing pro-inflammatories, therefore, in an albeit way, controlling how your body responds. So these results strongly suggest that modulation of the physiological activity of the cannabinoid system during colonic inflammation might be a promising therapeutic tool for the treatment of severe diseases that are actually categorized by said inflammation of the GI tract. It's also been shown that CBD can positively impact receptors outside of the ECS that can affect diseases such as Crohn's. This is
how cool is that? Oh my God. So they don't even go to where they're supposed to go. They're like, well, let's go some other places too and help you over there.
Right. Now, this comes down to like the vagus nerve. So select terpenes that are found within cannabis and in the plant world in general, they can actually stimulate the vagus nerve, which boosts the body's general immune response. Right? I cannot wait till we have a thing about that, because that's so interesting. There's so many studies about olfactory receptors. Right. We always talk about this, but the top reason why people turn to cannabis or hemp is for pain and inflammation. Top 10 conditions where you find people that are using cannabis and hemp for pain, you're going to find the GI disorders that we just talked about that are snuggled in and alongside like PTSD and cancer. So that basically translates to, science telling us that 20% of IBD sufferers, they use cannabis alone to manage their symptoms. And I think that we're just really expecting that to rise over.
Yeah, I'm in that 20% for sure, but I can only imagine once the education is flowing and people really know that there is a natural option to try. That's the biggest thing they don't know. Then you hear cannabis and they start freaking out. Cannabis has THC, and am I going to get high? And oh my God, what's going to happen? Am I going to,
Again, the biggest factor with this disease is that the medications we have to treat the symptoms cannot be used frequently for flare-ups. So, if you have IBS, you might be at the lower end of the spectrum where prednisone is working for you because you have one flare-up every year or two. That is not the case for most, people in the United States or around the world that have these two diseases. So they get to a point where they cannot utilize the medications available because they can't do that. It makes more harm than good for them. And where do they turn? You just can't suffer out through this, right? If we can look at cannabis and hemp and the cannabinoids and then working with our system to stop the flares from happening in the first place, so what does that say for IB overall long term? It says all the time, with chronic disease, the pharmaceutical industry is going to let you down because you're just treating symptoms, forever. And those side effects don't become a maybe, they become a yes, or definitely. So, So Marianne, take your bottle of CBD and bring it to your doctor and let them know you start taking it for the inflammation outside of his flares, with the flares.
Yeah, and have that, open up the door, have that conversation. And then, maybe your follow-up appointments, you're not using your prednisone anymore and your full spectrum CBD oil has kept your symptoms under control. And that'd be incredible information for your doctor, because they're not doing these studies. That's not happening yet. So anything we can help anecdotally will absolutely help. It's crucial to the movement. It's crucial to opening their eyes and, even if it makes them want to do their own research. That's what we want. We're not trying to teach the doctors how to doctor. You know what I mean? We're
trying how to work with your doctors.
Yeah, the kind of research you do in general for your doctorate degree, however you became a doctor, put that same research into what your patients are telling you is working for them.
Right. You have to have the conversation. You have to advocate for yourself. You have to be proactive. We see our doctors mostly when we are in distress.
Yeah, when something's wrong.
Something's wrong. So they throw all of the medical book at us, and then we become we go through things until something works for us. Bring cannabis conversation to that.
Yeah, and again, no one is saying that don't take prescriptions or don't believe your doctor or Western medicine is shit. Like, I mean, we all have opinions, and there's a place for all of it. I learned that myself. I was that person. Fuck doctors, fuck prescriptions, because they ruined my life. But then I had a very serious medical condition where Lo helped me get realistic. I had a bone tumor, and I was not going to the doctor with a growing bone tumor. So there are places for the doctor, as long as you're comfortable enough to talk to the doctor about what's important to you and what you want going inside your body and how that affects you. So I'd have that conversation. Like, I'm not going on pain pills. I'm not taking Vicodin, and then I can't use the bathroom, and I'm constipated. I'm in excruciating pain to help my pain. But it's just conversations. It's all communication and conversations. And again, if you're not sure how to talk to your doctor or you're a little nervous, reach out to us. Lo has a whole shebang on just how do you talk to your doctor.
Yeah, I think we were gonna put it last time, and I did not put the link out, so I'll make sure that we
can do a whole nother episode on that. That's crucial information for the everyday person who is maybe has a prescription for Xanax or something. I had a comment on my post on LinkedIn, like, I'm trying this myself. Like, I'm trying to wean off my Xanax because of my post about my personal story. You know what I mean? So it's important for people to know there are options, and cannabis is not for everybody. We get that. And prescriptions are not for everybody. So let's find the happy ground and be open and communicate and honest.